What is good, YouTube boy? Welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, yeah, I'm a few hours late. I'm better late than never, I guess. But we're talking about tomorrow's MyTEAM GOAT Festival cards. To be totally honest, a very underwhelming drop, with the exception of, Tim Thomas and Noah Dang will both be good. LAMELO will be a stud, but let's be completely honest here. These cards are not that exciting. They're just not. And I don't know. They'd be a lot more exciting if they were free. If you could realistically grind for one of them without spending, let's just do a little bit of math. Let's say the cheapest one of these players, the way that they have been the last couple weeks, is 20 GOAT pieces. 20, let's just pull up a calculator real quickly, just to do a little bit of math so I can check my work. But 20 is the amount of GOAT pieces you need times 30, which is each gold piece, which means 600. Now let's say that 5 of those GOAT pieces are attainable through challenges or King of the Court or the Triple Threat Park win streak, which has been the way that it has been the last couple of weeks. 5 times 30 is 150, so we can subtract 150. But that is 450 gold pieces, basically, that you would need to grind for if you grind those free 5 pieces as well that can be earned through other things that will also take some time, but not as much than grinding for each other piece individually through gold pieces. That being said, this is 450 breakout games. This is 225 Triple Threat Park wins. These are wins, not games. This is 150 showdown wins. This is 150 salary cap games. I don't remember how many you get from domination, maybe 2, I don't know, but either way, it's a ton of games no matter what game mode you are playing in. Let's say the fastest way to do it is probably breakout on rookie. Let's say you get through a game every 3 minutes. That's 20 games an hour. So let's divide by 20 then to see how many hours we're looking at. And we're looking at 22.5 hours in one 7-day week to grind for one of these players. And that doesn't include the time you're going to have to spend on the other challenges too. And that's if you're being extremely efficient. So you're looking at a 25+ hour grind to get one of these players on the week of July 11th to July 17th, 18th. Like, nobody's doing that. And so the only other way to get these cards is to spend a bunch of money. And look, people may say, oh, it's not that insane. I could buy one half box, grind the other pieces, makes it easier. That's still going to cost you 10 hours plus of grinding and $100. It's not like you're not spending a significant chunk of money. People don't just spend $100 on anything. That's the craziest thing to me, honestly, about MyTEAM. And I'm guilty of it myself. You know what I mean? I've absolutely spent that type of money on MyTEAM and other games on a relatively consistent basis in the past, but it's a lot of money to spend. I mean, it really is. I think there's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. People act like throwing away $100, $200, $300 a week is nothing on this game. There's a lot of people do it. And hey, if you got the money like that, more power to you. At the same time, I think other people wouldn't spend their money quite so willingly if they were doing it physically by hand. I think it's just easy to just swipe the card and I want the cards and kind of ignore the amount of money that it truly is that you're spending on this. But it's July 10th, man, as I record this, July 11th, as these cards come out. It's just not worth it. The new game's going to be out in 45, 50 days. Like, we're getting 2K26 news now. Don't spend your money on this. And so what that means is none of these guys are actually attainable, you know what I mean, at all. And hopefully, I'll say this, they're not going to, but I think they should. 2K should drop these cards' prices in terms of the amount of pieces that are needed to get them by a pretty decent margin. I think the most expensive, which is probably going to be Tim Thomas, is my guess, should be 30. Not 60 like Sean Kemp was, or Sean Bradley was last week. 30 is still too much, don't get it twisted, but the lower end guys should be 5 or 10. There should be guys you can grind reasonably, or they should be easier to grind for. It's not feasible for the vast majority of the community to grind for these cards. And I honestly think it's just not feasible for the vast majority of the community to spend their money to get these cards either. And I think at the end of the day, that's what has frustrated me the most here about in-game MyTEAM this year, is that I kind of had a positive attitude about the game for a while, at least tried to, as we went through season 6, season 7. And I think getting gifted the account that I did and the God Squad that I did, I think that helped, to be totally honest. At the same time, I've enjoyed the attainable series and things like that, but I really thought they were going to do a better job with this festival. And I really had hope for it, and then they just failed. It crashed and burned. And I don't know why I had hope for it. I think it's irrational of me, in all honesty, to probably get my hopes up for anything 2K related at this point. But look, they've done a couple things well recently. I think the free D-Book and Carmelo this week was cool. I think Invincible Shea as the finals MVP reward from those challenges was cool. I think the low 40 being Dr. J is great. I think there have been a good amount of attainable cards dropped in packs recently, but the fact that all of the top tier cards are locked behind paywalls sucks. There are people out there who are huge LaMelo Ball fans that just aren't going to get their favorite player now because he's got locked behind a paywall. And the same is true for Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, his GOAT card, and GOAT Hakeem, and GOAT KG, and GOAT Paulo, and GOAT etc, all the different festival cards they've dropped. And honestly, kind of all the cards in packs too, because to get these multi-million MT cards like a GOAT LeBron or a GOAT Giannis or somebody like that requires having spent a lot of money or a extreme amount of dedication and time at this point in the year. And it's just, I don't know. It's very disheartening to me that we're ending the season, and not just the season, ending the year with this type of a, honestly, I would say kind of dud. I feel like this is just a huge swing and a miss, because these 5 guys, to me, look, all of these guys are interesting names and they feel like they should be attainable. You look at these names, these are guys you would think 2K at this point in the year would be okay with letting us grind for and not trying to squeeze every last dollar, but apparently not. LaMelo Ball and Tim Thomas, they're yeah. And the thing is, people are going to get them. So, hey, I mean, I don't know. I'm at the risk of repeating myself over and over again. This just really frustrates me. And I just am not going to sit here and not talk about it. That's the honest truth. And I'm going to keep doing it. And there are people in my comments sometimes that are like, stop complaining, stop playing the game if you complain. It's like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to tell y'all how I think, how I feel about things, and be completely honest. And that means sometimes I'm going to be positive. I will have videos where I'm positive about 2K and I am happy with the things that they've done. But it also means that a lot of the time we're just going to have stretches of time in this game. And that's kind of the way the rest of this year is probably going to be, where it's just, I'm just going to be frustrated and I'm not going to have a positive opinion because the game doesn't deserve it. And I'm not going to sugarcoat things. I'm not going to suck up to 2K to try to go to community day. I'm just not going to do it. You know what I mean? So, that's the honest truth. That being said, look, I'm interested in these cards if they were attainable. There are names here that I like. Dino Raja, I'd love to use him. I think he's a fun card. I know he's a little bit undersized at power forward at this point, but he'd be a lot of fun to use. Luol Deng and Tim Thomas are both going to be great cards. 6'9", 6'10" GOAT shooting guards. 2 of the best shooting guards in the game. Probably 2 guys who are going to be right there with GOAT Beasley and GOAT KD as the best shooting guards in the game. Like, those are elite cards. Lonzo's going to be really good. He's only 6'6", but that Afro player build's going to make him look a little bigger, and he's going to be a stud. LaMelo, same thing. He's going to be really good too. Like, these are good cards. They're interesting names. They're not unbelievably exciting names to me, but they're definitely good names. They're guys I'd love to try, but I don't know, man. It's a real shame you can't realistically get them. I think if you put in 5 hours of grinding at this point in the year, you should be able to get one of these. You know what I mean? Like, why not drop this type of stuff as an option pack? Why not drop a set of challenges? Takes 4 or 5 hours for an option pack of these cards. It's freaking July. I don't know. I understand they're a business. I understand they want to make money. They made a hell of a lot of money this year. And that's the problem. They made so much money this year that there's no reason for them to change because people are going to spend their money anyway. So in all honesty, I don't expect change next year either. I will continue to advocate for it. I'll continue to hope that I'm wrong, but I just don't think this year ending like this is a good sign. I don't know. It is what it is. I hope y'all did enjoy the video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon. And I appreciate y'all. Peace.